gossip. No, I don't agree with it. That's all. I don't agree. No, Bindu, no Manaswini. I don't agree.
No, guys don't argue. I mean, gossip at all.
No, not gossiping, not arguing, but I'm telling the truth.
Agastri, don't lie. You just gossip yesterday with me.
Oh my God, no, not one time. See,
yes.
Yeah, so
not yesterday's talk.
Yeah, so
Ma'am, just to say not gossiping, they are talking so much.
Yeah. So I feel that's a wrong accusation on women. So I keep fighting for that all the time because usually for me gossiping is not the thing. So I mean I'm not saying I'm 100% I don't gossip. I do, but then it is not like that's not my only agenda in life. So I feel many men also do it. So that's an ongoing argument with all the men I have. So this is going to be a gossip laughter. So when you gossip, how are you going to really gossip? Yeah, so it's like this, no? So just to something about somebody only are saying, right? So you can do that action and laugh. Okay? So that is gossip laughter. You didn't want to do it because you don't gossip. Okay? So the next one that I'm going to tell you is called the lion's laughter. Actually, this is also good for our breathing because at this point of time, even whatever breathing that we are doing, we are going to exhale all the stale air I mentioned. This exercise, especially in yoga also they do, it is very useful. So you can also do that right now. So this is called lion laughter. So you pretend to be a lion now and do okay. Do that. Yeah. The lion. Okay. Very good.
Very good.
Yay.
Hey.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Hey.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and hold. So I think we have only half an hour, so I'm going to do 2 more exercises and then I will go into the self-care things that I was planning to tell you and we'll end it with a meditation. So the next exercise is called I'm sorry laughter. So when you do a mistake, you have to say sorry to somebody. It is like, how will you do? Kaan pakad ke, no? Sorry. So this is how it is. So, you know. Not bucket laughter. And the next exercise is argument laughter. I'm sure all of us love doing that. So when we do, it's like, you did that, you did this, right? So let's do an argument laughter. Very good. Yay!
Hey. Very
the
good.
Next one is called
Very good.
Yay! The next exercise is called zipper laughter. Imagine you have a zipper on your mouth. So only when it opens, you're going to laugh. Okay. So. Okay. So what if this zipper is Chinese made and it gets stuck in between? Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Yay.
Hey.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Yay.
Hey.
I'm actually trying to do all the exercises sitting now, so it's not. It may not be so much fun but when we are in a group standing together, it is even more fun because we are going to look at each other face to face, and we are going to go to each one. And I'm not able to do that on the Zoom, so some of these exercises will not look so funny right now, but when you really do it with a group of people, believe me, it's a lot of fun. So whatever you saw today, you can actually practice these things in your families right now, because it will reduce stress and anxiety that all of us are going through at this point of time. And one more thing that we usually do in corporates, we teach them this also. It's called silent laughter. So if you're wondering how will I laugh silently without making any sound, we can do that too. We usually tell the corporate in a corporate training sessions that whenever you're going to get into a meeting, or even it is applicable to all of us, whenever we are going to do something which actually has butterflies in our stomach and we are getting tensed and everything, what we could do is just go to the washroom, just and if you're thinking that if I'm laughing in the washroom, people around will think I'm mad. You don't have to do that, because here you are going to laugh without making any sound. So you are what you have to do is just hold your hand on your tummy right now and just laugh without making any noise. You will be feeling that there is some vibrations in your tummy right now. Just laugh. Okay, so did it feel the same when you laugh with making noise? It is actually being the same thing, right? So this is one tool that I think all of us can use it whenever probably we are going for an exam, we are going for a stage or something like that, which gives us a little bit of tension. We can always use this technique to reduce our stress. So coming to the self-love part of it I was talking about, like I mentioned, I'm also a counselor and a life coach. I do workshops. I used to do workshops on the power of the subconscious mind, and now I practice as a counselor, psychotherapist in Bangalore. So for me right now, the most that I'm hearing from my clients too is about self-love. You know, people are right now in a place where they are all tense. There is an anxiety. There is something that all of us are not able to express, but there is a lot of fear that all of us are facing. So this is usually, I have seen many of the women who take care of the family, who take care of their loved ones, who take care of everything, but they don't really take care of themselves. They neglect their own self, and they give themselves out for everybody. If you're noticing, even at your places, your mothers must be really not bothering about anything, giving you food all 3 times, cooking for you, cleaning, doing everything. So this is my request to all those women too, to take care of themselves, and I will teach you how to do. For some of the people, self-love is something that is a very alien word. You know, they don't know how to take care of themselves, or love themselves. They are fantastic in loving their children, their family, everything, but they really don't know how to take care of themselves. So I'm seeing some clients who are literally not taking care of themselves. So that is why I felt that I can talk a little bit of 5-10 minutes to all of you about this, because when he mentioned it is for more women and all that, I thought this is very important that girls and women do take care of themselves, because if you don't take care of yourselves, you will not be able to take care of your family 100%, because from an empty glass you can't pour, right? So please take care of your own self first. So some of the tips that I would want to tell you about how to how to love yourself is, first thing, take care of your health. That is, don't neglect your doctor checkups, yearly checkups, and going to your gynecologist, and all these, making time for yourself to do your yearly checkups, or if you have doctor appointments or taking your medicines, all those things, never neglect these things. And I see this lot. Many women belittle their problems, when they have a problem, they don't want to talk about it, because they think that it's okay, I can take care of it, I don't want to tell anybody. But it will grow on, if there is some little pain, they don't mention about it, but the pain will increase, and one day it will be too much for them to handle. So I would request all of you to not neglect your own needs, and not to neglect your pains and all this, and think that everything will be all right. So the second one is, be kind to your body. Srinidhi, can I see people's faces? It's really, we don't need the presentation. Yeah, I would love to see people's faces. Okay, so be kind to your body. All of us, men, women, any of us, we have to remember this one thing, is that we human beings are the best creation of God. We are an amazing creation. So we should never neglect ourselves. So, never to forget that we are an amazing creation, and to take care of our body. And you don't have to fit into society's norms about your own body, the color, the size, the height, whatever. If somebody else is telling you how you should be, how you should not be, don't fall into that, because however you are unique and you are the best. So remember this could be one mantra that you can tell yourself every day in the morning, that I am the best, I am unique, and I can do anything. So don't fall into anybody else's they have their own opinions about things, so don't fall into their requirements of yourself. If somebody wants you to do something their way, don't sacrifice your dreams, your things, and do for them. And don't fall into the standards of beauty that the society sets for yourself, like the 0 figures, I should be this height only, I should be this fair only. So these are some of these standards which don't make any sense, because if all of us are in the same way, I think it would be so boring. All of us are so unique and so beautiful in our own way. That's the reason why the world is so beautiful. So let's not want to fit ourselves into these society's norms and standards. Just be the way you are, and love yourself unlimitedly, and how much ever you can love yourself, that you can do. And every imperfection makes you unique. So give your body all the love it deserves. I'm sure many of us, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we actually don't look at the best features of ours. We always find something that's not okay with us. I have a pimple here today. My hair is grown so much. It's not sitting well today. I have so much of gray hair. We all have, I'm not so fair. So many things. My eyes are so small. These kind of things. And we never love ourselves the way we are. So first thing is to love ourselves the way we are, because we are unique and we are awesome as we are. The minute we accept ourselves as we are, then the whole world will accept us. It's like, it's a board that we are putting on ourselves. Ki, this is my worth. If I put a board on myself, ki, this is my worth, and nobody else will give me more value than what I'm giving myself. So it's very important that I value myself, and I decide my worth, not somebody else outside. So you make your worth, and you decide your worth, and make sure that you give yourself the best worth, because you are the best. Remember this, I am the best. So you don't have to fall into anybody else's standards. The third one is embrace the healthy habits of life, like eating healthy, exercising, sleep well. I think many of the youngsters these days I see is that the sleep patterns have really very, very bad, including a teenager son I have. This is our constant argument, because sleep is another place where your subconscious mind is working for you. And when you don't sleep, give the subconscious mind the time to really process the commands that you give. Like, the commands could be, I want to achieve something, I want to be this. These are your wants and needs that you give in the conscious, when you're conscious. And your subconscious mind is active 24/7, but it is more active when your conscious mind shuts down. And that happens only when you sleep. Your conscious mind shuts down at that point of time. So it's very important that you give long hours of sleep. If whatever is prescribed by doctors, like 8 hours. As youngsters, I think you can even sleep a little more. As you grow older, sleep is something that you will not get. Right now, you will be in a state to sleep well. So make sure that you do that. Give your body what it requires. The body has to rejuvenate itself. It can do all that when you sleep. And the fourth one is stop letting others dictate your worth. Never allow others to disrespect you, limit you, or force you to sacrifice your needs. It can be anybody. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for anybody else's, if they are trying to impose their things on you, you don't have to do that. And by this, I'm not saying that you rebel against things. You can always be assertive and say, I am not liking this. I don't want to do this because I am not comfortable with it. You can be assertive. You need not be, if you are saying don't do anything, then I have to rebel against this. It's not like that. You can be very assertive and say that I'm not comfortable doing this and I'm not going to do it. That's the gentler way of taking care of yourself. And all of us deserve love and respect. It can be any age, it doesn't mean that I'm a child, I don't have to be respected. All this, every one of us has to be loved and respected. So to get respect and love from others, it is always a give and take relationship in anything. So make sure that you give others what you want others to give you. So if you want others to treat you the way you want, so you have to treat them like that. So make sure you do that. So that is how you'll receive what you want. The day you'll respect the others, the day you love others, the way you want somebody else to respect and love you, that is automatically going to come back to you. And one more thing, stop pleasing people. To please others, we go to an extent of doing something which is not okay for us. We are in pain, we are in sadness sometimes, but we still want to do it for others because we just want to please others. It's like, our ain ankotaro is one thing, and one more thing is I don't want to displease them, because if I displease, this is what's going to happen. So by doing that, what you're doing is letting them take you for granted. And then tomorrow, if you crib that they take me for granted, it was you who let them do it. So don't always try to please others. If you are the way you are and you do what is good for others, for yourself, you don't have to please others for that. So don't do anything which is not okay with you, and then you have to do it only because you want to please others. Okay, and the next one is start your day with something very positive, telling yourself something positive. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can do that. And always surround yourself with people who will support you, people who will encourage you, and people who will uplift your ideas, share with you things that are positive. And don't be with negative people. If you feel that you are surrounded by people who think negative, who behave negative, and you think life is always like this, I cannot do anything, I am like this, and if you hear these kind of things a lot in your groups, I think it's best to just move away from those people. So just be in a company which is very encouraging for you and which will help you grow, and you also help them grow. And if you're in any toxic relationship, you don't have to endure those things. You can just end them, like I mentioned, with dignity. Just leave those things, respect yourselves, and leave those toxic relationships, because it is for your physical and mental health very important that you're not in toxic relationships. That is when your growth will start. And celebrate your wins, no matter how small or big they are. Don't think that how can I celebrate some small thing that I did today. Doesn't matter. Just enjoy and celebrate whatever smallest thing that you have achieved today. Like for example, if for the first time you have made a perfect dosa or something like that, even that is, in this lockdown time, I'm sure all of you must be trying new things at home, like cleaning the house or doing cooking or whatever. Celebrate that. Celebrate each and every smallest victory of yours, and follow your passion, and don't think it's too late to do whatever you like. Many of us, including me, this is my story, I'll tell you. And I thought just working for reasons that I had to earn money and I have to be supportive to my husband and all that, I never followed what I wanted. And at the age of 40, I started to realize that this is not what I wanted. I want to do something different. I want to do so that's when I started taking my counseling sessions and counseling classes. And then today I'm still learning. I'm a student, and I'm loving what I'm doing today. I love doing my sessions, and I feel I have done something to another person in the counseling sessions. And so I'm whatever, like laughter yoga is something that suddenly came and I have started doing. I want to do so many more things, and I'm not limiting myself into learning now. So it's never too late. Don't think that I'm old now, I don't want to do and all that. So never too late to do anything. So just follow your heart and do what you want, and step outside your comfort zone. So all of us have one comfort zone. This is where I'm okay. If I want to go out and experiment something new, I have to step out of this comfort zone. Then only will I be able to achieve something or do something. So here also I will quote my example. I was not a person who could stand up in front of 10 people and talk. Today I'm able to do these sessions. This is my victory for myself, I'll tell you, because laughing like this and with all the body shaming that I had, laughing like this in front of people and making fun like this, it is not so easy. So that is my victory. So I had to move out of my comfort zone, and I have done that. So if I can do it, you can all do it too. And in all these things, take time, relax, calm your mind, do meditation, because these are the times when your subconscious mind will be more active. And whenever you are in trouble, or you feel that you need help, or you need somebody to talk to, reach out to your family. Don't hesitate, because parents are somebody who will love us unconditionally, whatever it is. So reach out to your family. If you feel maybe sometimes it's not comfortable there, you reach out to your friends. Even there, if you're not comfortable and you don't have anybody like that, reach out for help, like counselors, professionals. Reach out to anybody who can help you at that point of time, but just don't sit with your pains and your worries, because as you add on these things, it will be cutting your the productive life that you can live. Okay. And learn to say no. Like I mentioned, pleasing others is one, but learn to say no when it is required. If it is not sitting well with you, and if you feel that you are not respected in any of this, it can be a relationship, it can be in a place, it can be in a job, it can be anywhere, learn to say no. If you think that this is, I'm not feeling comfortable here, just say no and move on. It's okay to say no. And if you have done anything that you have hurt somebody, or you feel that I have done something that I am not so happy about, forgive yourself. Forgiveness, believe me, is the best tool ever for us to move forward in life, and for us to actually, if you don't forgive somebody and have hatred for them and carry a lot of grudge, forgiveness is something that will be releasing you from those clutches, and you can move forward in life. Actually, that will be like one it's something that's holding you back in progressing in life. So if you do forgiving others, that is good for you, and forgive yourself also for some things that you have done which you're not very okay with. We all do mistakes, so it's okay to forgive ourselves. So forgive yourself and move forward. And one more thing, stop seeking validation from others. By this I mean, not always you have to like, did I do something, whatever you do, somebody else has to tell you, you did very good, you did this, you did that, that is very good, this is very good. Don't seek validations from others always. It's not required. If you know that what you're doing is right, and it is in the right path, and it is not hurting anybody, it is going to grow you, all that, so you don't have to always seek validations from others. And get in touch with your inner dialogues. Like, there is an inner critic all of us have, whatever we do, there's something inside us telling us, this you didn't do right, that you didn't do right. We are not focusing on our best qualities, but we're always focusing on our negatives. So there is this inner critic who will always be telling you. Sometimes this is the same person who will encourage you to do so, things which you always want to do and you're not able to do for some reason that you're holding yourself back. So you always have some time to just sit down and listen to your inner voices that is there. Those are the intuitions that you get. Sometimes those intuitions will, sometimes you would have achieved something, I don't know, something from inside was telling me that go ahead and do this. I did that, and see, result is so beautiful. So this is your subconscious mind telling you something to do. So that is how your subconscious mind will talk to you. So listen to your intuitions. And if there is a critic who's always criticizing, believe me, this is not a self-critic. This is a critic that has come from criticism from outside. From your childhood, you would have picked up somebody telling you cannot dance, you are not so good, you cannot paint, all these things. These are some things that others have put on you. You don't have to limit yourself for that. So shut that critic and listen to the growth part of it, that the intuitions that you get. And the the last and the main thing that I would want to tell you is this, as I do as a different exercise. This is called mirror exercise. I want you all to stand in front of the mirror every day in the morning, look at yourselves in the eye and say, I love you. So this is telling yourself that you love yourself, and when you make that eye contact and tell yourself I love you, believe me, this is a very powerful tool that many people use, and even I use it. So that is when you start to love yourself. You start to accept yourself as you are, with all your faults, all your limitations, all your achievements, everything. You will accept and love yourself as you are. So start doing this exercise every day. And whenever you look at a mirror, you can always tell that. So that will become a practice for you. And that is how self-love will start to become a part of your life and not something that you will have to practice as a exercise or anything like that. So start doing this. So this is what I wanted to tell everybody, to take care of themselves and make sure that you love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. So make sure you do that. If we have time, I'll do the meditation part of it for 5 minutes.
We can take it for 2 minutes, ma'am, probably. And then we'll have one feedback and then vote of thanks.
Sure,
Or
sure.
maybe we can continue the meditation after the vote of thanks also, even after the end of
Sure,
the
yeah, you can
session.
do that. I'll end with the meditation.
Yeah, I guess if any one of you want to talk to ma'am, you can raise your hand. We'll unmute you. We'll take only one question so that we have. Okay, Nagaraj sir. Nagaraj sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like, it was so really nice that bearing, talk about the positive or about the self love about ourselves, and I'm sure that a lot of us, we used to make a lot of mistakes, as you are telling those are points. So my question to you is that what I always used to do, the people whom I care more and who is not blood relations, of course, but do you think it is right or wrong to expect a love from them? Because I have kept them in somewhere a very top, the position. So do you think that they used to feel that if something is happening inside my heart? So that's the question is all about.
So if I'm right, how I'm understanding is it okay to expect love from others the way I give them love? Is it? That is what you meant? Okay. So like I said, each one of us have our own baggages. So each one has a different definition to love. For me, there is a book called Five Love Languages also. Each one has a different way of expressing love, if you read that book, you will know. For me, expressing love would be talking some positive things to you about yourself. Or for some people, it's about giving gifts to the other person. That is the way I can show love. So if I'm thinking that is my style of my love language is giving a lot of gifts to others. It may not be your love language. So if you might be giving me a lot of positive feedbacks, lot of or for some people it will be those physical touches, hugs and kisses and all that. So if I'm a person who is about gifting, so for me, if you don't give your love language is to give more physical hugs and all that, I'm receiving a lot of them, but I'm not actually acknowledging these things. But I want to think that I am doing. So I always give him gifts, but he never gives me any gifts, So I feel that this person does not love me. It's not like that. Everybody has their own style of expressing their love. So if we can understand the way they are giving us the love, then we will see that everybody is giving us in their own style, but we are actually blinding ourselves to seeing it. So if you are saying, can I expect? Yeah, of course you have to expect. Love and affection and respect in all these things is a very give and take. You give, I give. Did I answer your question?
Thank you, ma'am. I now request, I know few of you have gone deep inside you and trying to dig yourself out now, because we all are actually touched by the session. First, the laughter. Second, we actually dived into our hearts. Even I have felt that, but shortage of time, unable to address this. So I request Manasa to present the vote of thanks before we could proceed with the meditation. Manasa, Dr. Manasa, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. The best and beautiful things in the world can be seen in others' smile or if others laugh, and can be felt by heart through yoga. Self-love is not selfish. We cannot truly love others until we know how to love ourselves. I would like to express a great privilege to propose vote of thanks to Rotarian Lavanya Shankar ma'am for vibrating a good energy into others' soul and making them never forget the beauty of yours. Also, I would like to thank our President Rotractor Srinidhi sir, immediate past President Rotractor Apurva, Project 3 Chair, Secretary Rotractor Lavanya, Rotractor Prerana, Treasurer Rotractor Meghana, Bindu, the Director of Sports, and also I would like to thank the DDRR Krishna Arjun sir and all the fellow Rotractors for making this even more memorable and successful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manasa. I would also like to recognize the presence of all the other Rotractors who joined us and non-Rotractors and friends and our President-elect Rotractor Manaswini.